Alright guys, welcome back to OP Tinkers. This is how you pull out a back seat in a 66 through 70 Plymouth, Belvedere, Dodge. It's pretty much the same thing. So what you'll notice here is mine is already out. So I'm going to actually be doing it the reverse. I'm actually putting mine back in. But you can see here that there's a hook which they hang on. This is the top side. And then on the bottom side, right here, is the actual bracket that retains the back seat. That is what connects right here. You simply just bend this tab out to slide that out. So you're going to want to slide the bottom, bend the tabs first, and then slide the bottom out. And then that's how you lift up the top of the seat. Right there is where the seat hooks on from the actual hook. And then you can just simply lift it and pull it forward. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang my seat back on by clipping it there, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's assembled and the tabs there. Alright guys, this is how it looks with the seat in position. With my car, I have a four-door sedan. So if you have a two-door hardtop or two-door coupe, it should be the same thing. What's going to fight you on this whole process of getting this seat out is the kind of what you can see. The headliner right here is a little difficult, and then you actually have to pull in the seat and squeeze it along this trim piece that runs right there. And then as you can see, that's been out. When you go to actually remove these, you'll notice that you have to keep those bent out. That's how you actually slide this up and out. So what you do is bend this out like so, and then just pull on the seat. And then simultaneously, if you can press in on this while you're doing it, that should allow you to get them out. Regardless of if you have a four-door sedan or a hardtop or a coupe, squeezing this out is going to be a little difficult just because of the armrest. If you can remove your armrest when you're doing this, that would probably help you. There's just two screws underneath on each side, and that's how you pull off your armrest. It'll give you a lot more room to squeeze the back seat out. It's not small by any means. This is a big back seat. If you have to, you can also remove the crank handles for your windows. You shouldn't have to. I didn't have to in mine, but again, this is a four-door sedan. You may need to if you're in a coupe or a hardtop. It's not too difficult. Again, it's just a little Torx bit. But if you did choose to do so, you would, again, pull on the bottom of the seat. If you're going to remove this, this is on the left side. You'll see same thing, same tab, same everything. Simply just pull on this when you're trying to remove it, while pulling in on this with your other hand, and she'll pop right out of her place. Just be mindful again of your trim that runs along the door. If you have a four-door, if not, you may not have that for a coupe, but again, just be mindful of your headliner because it does sit up against that. And that's how you remove the top piece of the back seat. I'll go over how you remove the bottom here in just a moment. Alright, now the back seat is in. This is how it would look in the car if you hadn't done anything up to this point. Now, when removing this seat, most people will try to just pull up from the bottom. That is not how you get the seat out. When I was pulling it up, I actually had to push in like really hard as you can towards the back of the seat. Now, I can't show this because I have to hold my one hand with the camera and in my other hand, but you're going to want to pull as hard as you can towards you, like so, while simultaneously pulling up from the bottom of the seat, and then it'll actually release, and then you can lift and slide the seat towards the front of the car, like so. Again, if you have a four-door sedan, I would recommend opening both doors. It just gives you more room to work, and then you can obviously get the seat out after it's done. But that's the trick to the bottom of these seats. When you want to get them back in, you have to do the same thing. You got to push towards the back of the seat here. So you want to push towards this seat with the bottom, and then press down at the same time, and then let it move forward to lock back in place. I'm going to go ahead and do that and get mine locked in, and then I'll show what it looks like when everything's back in place. Alright guys, the seat is now officially back in. How you can tell is like when I go to lift up, you can see the seat isn't moving up. Now, to get this back in, I was pressing in as hard as I can. So pushing towards the back of this seat, towards the back of the car, and at a slight angle like this. And then once I got that in here, I press down, and you can feel it when you clear it, because that clip is like a C. So it's a C and then up. So you can feel yourself get past that C, and then you can press down on the seat, and it'll pop and clip that piece into place. And that's how you know it's in. And once again, it's like an excessive amount of force. It's not like, oh, I'm putting a little bit of weight into her and she shifts back. Like, it's almost your whole body weight. Like, it takes a solid amount of force. And so don't be afraid when you're doing this. If you do want to be mindful of your vinyl, if it's in a little bit worse shape than mine, I would put on maybe some gloves or grab a towel here and brace it while you're doing that, so you don't damage anything. But you do have to press in like an excessive amount of force to then either lift up or press it down to get it to lock into place. This is the hardest piece to get out, is the bottom of the back seat. Once it's out, the top of the back seat right here is a cinch. It's literally those two clips, that side, bend it, and then it unhooks from the top of the back seat roughly about here. So all in all, not too bad to get out. But again, if you're working in a four-door, it's much easier. But if you have a coupe or a hardtop, you may have to remove your front seat to be able to get enough working room. I don't know, honestly, how you would be able to kind of brace yourself while leaning into the back seat. But I guess if you come through the front and you actually tilt your seat off to the full side, then lean back and lean it obviously towards the front of the car, then you can actually get to the back seat here and press in with all your force and lift up. I would probably come in from an angle, press up against it with my hands facing this way while I'm trying to lift up, and that should help you pull her out. With a four-door, you got to kind of do it this way because you don't have the ability to tilt the front seat. But anyways, that's how you get out the back seat. This should apply for an A-body Dart, B-body, C-body. They're all pretty much the same as far as the seats go. Nothing crazy here. But if you have any questions or anything, just comment below. Once again, just like and subscribe. It just helps me out, keeps the count up on the videos. I appreciate you guys watching, and keep wrenching. Thank you.